Hello everybody, Scotty the Trainer here. You know, I love to address anything that has to do with motivation, inspiration, education, and also self-help. And let me qualify that as talking about proper self-help. I've never seen an empty container be able to pour anything out. So proper self-help is we as people have to make sure we have something in us in order to share with other people. We have to have something in our container in order to pour out to help other people. So I want to talk about proper self-help just for a minute here. I've looked at all of these situations that's going on as we come out of this lockdown, this COVID-19, as we look at all the protests and the demonstrations. I'll also say along with that destruction, corruption, all of that. And I think that one of the things that really we as people need to be careful of is our own, in self-help, hypocrisy. Did your parents, your grandparents, whoever you grew up with, maybe an older brother, sister, what have you, that said, hey, listen, make sure you are as good as your word. You know, there was a time we didn't have contracts. A handshake and a yes, I agree, or a yes, I'm going to do it, that used to take care of it. Not anymore. Now everything's got to be signed in triplicate. My attorney's got to check with your attorney. We got to make sure everything squares. I don't like this. Let's change the wording of that. The parties are the first part to the parties are the third part. Blah, 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 blah. All of that. Now, listen. Just because we're living in a world where everything has to be contract oriented doesn't mean that we as people can't still be as good as our word. People should know what you believe because of the fact that they hang around you. They see you, they know how you act, they see your character in public, so they should have some sense. Maybe they don't know everything that you believe in, but they should have some sense of what you believe in. And with all that's going on, there's so much hypocrisy all around us. I just want to make sure we are careful as people that we don't become hypocrites in this world. I'll give you an example. We were talking about this push, defund the police, defund the police. Okay, that's all well and good until somebody robs you. Then who do you tell? Or somebody's breaking into your house. Who are you going to call? We need to stop the police force. That's all well and good until you need a police officer. And we have to be careful because we just toss out all of the police because there is corruption in the police force. And then talking about the police, both President Trump and former Vice President Biden said we are not for defunding the police, but the federal government must set guidelines. Now here's my problem with that. How is a corrupt government going to set guidelines for a corrupt organization? Now, not all the police are corrupt, but we do know corruption is in the police force. And we know there is no other entity more corrupt than our government. Even though there are good people, it's been shown time and time again. I mean, they closed the bank for the senators because they kept overdrawing. We can't even have a bank for our senators in the Senate House. So the hypocrisy is just rampant. And you and I know people that walk the line of hypocrisy. They'll say to you, don't do X, Y, and Z, but yet they do X, Y, and Z. So all I'm saying is, with all the hypocrisy that's around us as people, let's just make sure we ourselves don't let the hypocrisy sink inside of us. Let us not be hypocrites. I think that we should get what we believe and how we live a little closer together so people understand. When I say I believe this, they can say he really believes it because I see it in his life. When I say I have no problems with people, white people, Mexicans, black people. Then people need to look at me and say, you know, Scotty the trainer's telling the truth, because I see it in his life. What I'm saying is, be a boat. As long as the water is outside of the boat, you're okay. When the water gets in the boat, that's when we sink. Hypocrisy may be around us, but that doesn't mean we have to be hypocrites. I'm Scotty the trainer.